Welcome, Patricia Medros. I'm so happy that you made it, although you are sitting in a restaurant in a very important conference, but still, you are in my laptop in Austria.
Anything for you, Andrea. Anything for you. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Oh, cool. I heard about you the first time in 2022, 2022 when I read an article of Pilates Intel, and I was so interested in your um, writing that I subscribed to your newsletter. And in this newsletter, you wrote about a very good seminar over Christmas, and I enrolled in that, but unfortunately couldn't make it. But you were so kind as to write about whenever I have time, I could come again. And so this has happened. I'm so happy. I met you in Vitoria in Spain, and I'm going to meet you in Austria because you're going to come to Austria. I'm going to come to your studio in Rome. And Patricia, when did you start your Pilates career?
Well, first of all, thank you for coming to me in Spain and then continuing with me in Rome in August and then again in Vienna or Mödling. Is that how you say it?
Yes, Mödling, yes.
Mödling. So that will be October 12th and 13th at Victoria Sommers Studio. So my Pilates career began in 1995 when I read in Vogue magazine that Madonna was doing Pilates, and I didn't know what it was. And I was in love with Madonna, and I had to find out what it was. So soon enough, it seemed like it happened overnight. I found Romana's studio in Chicago. I didn't know anything about Pilates. I had no idea who Romana was. It was the only Pilates studio in my area, Evanston, Illinois. And I walked in the studio. It was love at first sight. And then I started taking lessons. And then soon enough, the studio itself asked me, they said, "You're always here. You're great with people. You can't get enough of the method. Why don't you become a teacher?" I thought they were crazy. Yeah, I thought they were crazy, but my family thought it was a great idea. And so here I am.
Good, good.
So 1995, really.
Wow, great, great. And Patricia, what I like about your style of teaching is that you come from a classical background and have all this equipment that we are used to, but still you want people to be prepared for this equipment and this method, because you say that we need to have foundational abilities to be able to reap the benefits of Pilates.
That's true. And that's my whole mission in life, because too many people are doing Pilates without one, basic strength, two, alignment. Nobody is in alignment today, worse than ever. Three, motor control, knowing how to control the body. Four, the mobility. So you have to have the joint mobility. And then you have to have the concentration and coordination to put it all together. So in my mind, Pilates is an Olympian level elitist sport.
Right.
And you need to train like an Olympian to be able to do Pilates. But to do great Pilates, you don't need more Pilates, especially not more classic Pilates. You need to work in different ranges of motion, in different movements to get the strength, the mobility, the motor control, and the coordination to be able to do Pilates. Otherwise, you will get hurt.
Absolutely. I totally agree, because I felt it myself. I must tell you that your way of breathing, and everybody told me to breathe into my back, but they didn't tell me how. But it was in your class where you blocked the abdominals and you put us in a perfect position where I could at least try to breathe into my back. And I've been doing your exercises every day now, and I get the benefits in tennis, in swimming, in lifting weights. It's amazing. And I must tell you, for the first time, I feel my whole abdominals, all layers. And I've been doing Pilates for a long time.
Yes, and I'm happy that it worked for you. And I have to say, your story is the common story. So Joseph Pilates said, above all, breathe correctly, but then he didn't teach us how to breathe. And I was never taught how to breathe in all my Pilates career. So we need to be able to breathe with the pump handle lifting, the bucket handles on the side ribs widening, the posterior floating ribs expanding, so that the pressure goes down, so that the diaphragm can expand. On the inhale, the pressure goes down. And if you are in good alignment with your rib cage stacked over your pelvis, the pelvic floor will be able to then accept the pressure from the diaphragm descending and release, expand. And it is this piece of the puzzle that's generally missing. So the breath is not just a upper body phenomenon. It's a whole body phenomenon. And it originates and it expands from the feet to the head and maybe even outside of the body, right, in our energetic sphere. So with exercises that help you align the rib cage over the pelvis, doing proper 360-degree breathing or three-dimensional breathing or circumferential breathing, the benefits are enormous. Again, the pelvic floor is the first to reap the benefit, because many times, especially in Pilates, if you are wrapping the thighs or standing in V or squeezing the glutes, the pelvic floor is completely contracted and it never has the opportunity to expand. If it doesn't have the opportunity to expand from the muscle tension, but also from improper alignment and improper breathing, it will never be able to contract. A muscle that cannot expand and contract, so we have to be able to expand and contract, is a weak muscle. So this is what the breathing does. It gives the ability of the pelvic floor to expand and contract. So then we don't have to worry about the pelvic floor. We should never be thinking about the pelvic floor.
Right.
But we have to, quote unquote, train it with breathing exercises and other exercises so that we can't forget about it. So lately I have been concentrating on the pelvic floor because I feel it is the key to understanding how the body works. One of the keys, but it's a great key for Pilates because it's the core of the core.
Right. And you also said it's important to bring everything into neutral. And this is what we get with this breathing.
Well, neutral is a very controversial subject.
Yeah, I know.
So neutral in my mind is this. Any joint can be in neutral when it has the opportunity to move into all three planes of motion: sagittal, frontal, transverse, freely, with ease. So when a joint can move in all the ranges of motion that it is supposed to move in with ease, that joint is in neutral. And why is that important? It's important because, one, the joint will be better set up to move, but it also puts the muscles, if your joints are neutral, your muscles are in their proper length tension relationship. And when the muscle is in the length tension relationship that it should be, it has the ability to expand and contract, going back to my previous point. But neutral is a stop along the way. It's not something that we have to focus on or drive down. You have to be able to feel it in order to get in and out of it. No position is bad. All positions can be good or bad. What's bad is being stuck in one position or one movement pattern and not being able to move in other positions or in other patterns.
Right.
That's what we're trying to improve with Pilates. But you won't get that with just Pilates.
Yeah. And the other thing that you mentioned now is you have to feel it, because last Friday I had an online lesson with you in a hotel room in Madrid, and later I wrote you, how can you see the micro movements we are making, and how are you able to cue these little things? And you said, first you have to feel it, then you will see it. And I do get that. But I got the recording and there were 4 bodies almost not moving at all, but you gave them great cues and it felt so deep and so profound. This way of moving.
Thank you. Yeah. So my body is my laboratory. And I tell all my students, I say, I am not your teacher. I will never be your teacher. Your body is your teacher. And I believe that. So everything I've learned from my body, good and bad. So I've dedicated my life to feeling what I am doing when I'm doing it. It's really a practice in mindfulness. And that has always been my biggest pull. My biggest draw to Pilates was this. Back in the day, I was so focused on doing what Romana would tell me, or what Juanita Lopez would tell me, or what all my other teachers, what Bob Likens would tell me. I was so focused that I entered an altered state of consciousness, where I was hyper focused, but it was calm. So my mind was clear, my body was on fire, and I entered into this zone of bliss, really.
Yeah, right.
And that's what I associate Pilates with. But because I cultivated that for so many years with these mentors, I was able to reproduce it on my own, and then reproduce. So it's gotten in my body. And because it's in my body, I can see in your body.
Yeah.
And I can, and I can, but it's not that I see in your body. I feel what you're doing.
Yeah, right. That's why it's possible to do it via the screen.
Oh yeah, sometimes it's even better via the screen, because I can zero in. I'm not worried about moving the equipment or getting you here. I can just zero in and focus on what you need, no matter how many people are there, because I can feel all of you. I can feel everyone.
Great. And when we do our classes together, it's mostly with lots of cushions, yoga blocks, balls, foam rollers. And on 1st of May, you are going to teach such a class. We will need this also then, I think, all these things that everybody has.
Yes, it helps. So on May 1st, at 1:00 p.m. or 1300 CET, so this is Rome time, Central European time, I'm offering this class, this Pilates, this Come to Pilates class for €15. So the price is ridiculously low because I want to open the doors to as many people as possible.
Perfect.
And you are
how do people enroll?
And if you have props, if you have a foam roller, some yoga blocks, a ball, some cushions, a chair, and some wall space and some floor space, you will be able to participate. And I hope it will be eye-opening. Yeah. And I know I will be able to see you.
Something.
Okay, so I guess we can pick up again.
Yeah. So it's for everybody.
Okay.
The 1st of May is for everybody to come.
Yes. The 1st of May is for everybody to come. The class, again, you will need a little bit of props, foam roller, yoga blocks, cushy ball, soft ball, but a chair, wall space, and floor space, and good Wi-Fi. But the props serve to help you move into a direction. So for example, let's say we're breathing and you have a hard time breathing into your left side ribs. If I put a block under the left side ribs and you can breathe into it, you will have much more success in the breathing.
Good.
So this is the May 1st class, which will hopefully give you an idea of how to improve your Pilates by improving what I said before, everything.
Yeah, very good. And the October seminar, is this also for clients, or is it only for teachers?
So again, October 12th and 13th in Mödling, Austria. It's open to everyone, always.
Perfect. Perfect.
Because some of my greatest practitioners are clients.
Yeah.
Not teachers,
Yeah.
they're clients. And they
Very
love
good.
Pilates. They want more. They want to understand. They're interested in everything. Just because somebody doesn't teach Pilates as a profession doesn't mean they shouldn't dive in and develop their Pilates knowledge and practice.
Right. Very good. Thank you. I'm looking forward to Wednesday. I'm looking forward to Rome, and I'm looking forward to October in Victoria's studio. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you for interrupting your lunch break. Thank you for putting in this little talk in your very busy schedule. Thank you very much.
Like I said, Andrea, anything for you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.